Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're continuing on in our series, The Family Matters. This is part 14. In this segment, we want to consider the practice of homeschooling. Now, you probably have heard of the concept of homeschooling and possibly even know of a family who's educating their children in this way. According to research by Dr. Brian Ray, in the year 2002 to 2003, there were 1.7 to 2.1 million children being homeschooled in the United States, and it was growing at a rate of 7 to 15% a year for the past 2 decades. So definitely on a growing trend, and there's a reason for that. For our purposes, in considering homeschooling as it relates to the series we're doing here, Traditional Catholic Family Life, let's first consider the philosophical aspects of it versus the academics. Really, for what we're talking about here, it's almost going to be essential, practically vital for a family to homeschool, because even if we have our children in a Catholic school, many of which have a hard time or are not doing a really good job of teaching the faith, we don't even necessarily know if the teacher in the classroom is going to be Catholic or even have any what their moral background is, or of the children who they are sitting around day in and day out, the things that are going on back at their homes, if there are anything that is against moral teaching that's going on there. These are the people that our children are around day in, day out, that are influencing them. Whereas if we have them at home, teaching them in a home environment, parent and child working together, that mother with those children, teaching those children, and passing on the faith to them, as well as family life, in addition to the academics, it ends up being a beautiful thing. There's a lot of family bonding that goes on there between parent and child and between the brothers and sisters. It ends up being very effective, very good upbringing for the children. Now, we know that academics are important, and there are many children in school who excel academically, go on to achieve wonderful degrees and walk into prestigious careers. But at the same time, we know many of them who go on to have very severe family and emotional problems. Case in point, my wife, Missy, at times she'll have to go to the local herb shop and pick up some things for the kids. And she was told by the lady there last week, who knows her well, that not a day goes by when a mom doesn't come into her shop looking for some treatment for their children who are stressed out, who are not able to focus, who are just not able to fit in and get things done because of the strain and stress that goes along with this rat race lifestyle that so many families live in. Now, the most common concern that we'll hear about the idea of homeschooling is, what is the social development of the children that are homeschooled? And let's think about this from a practical standpoint. We don't take the child and put them in a dark room and say, go ahead and learn. The children are brought up in a very social environment in the family. There are a lot of different personalities, different temperaments that are there, and especially when you have a large family, different children to be around, and they learn to get along with different personalities, and as well as being able to interact well with adults. All you have to do is get around one of these homeschooling children and just talk with them and see how the vast majority of them are polite and can very well interact with adults as well as other children. As a matter of fact, you're very rarely going to find a more artificial environment than that of a traditional classroom, where everybody is of the same age, of the same skill level, the same type of people. It's very, very rare that you'll ever see that situation again once you get out of school. So the home environment is definitely a place for them to grow socially. And the other added aspect to it is, in years gone by, in Catholic schools especially, boys and girls at the teenage years were separated in separate schools to avoid near occasions of sin that come along, especially at those teenage years. That's another added benefit to homeschooling, that we take those kinds of situations away. Finally, let's look at the academic side of it. the proof's in the pudding. By their fruits you shall know them. All we have to do is look at the results. Today, after we have had a few decades of homeschooling under our belts, we have a track record, and we're starting to see that colleges are actually seeking homeschool students into their universities, even Ivy League schools, because of the discipline that they possess, as well as their academic skills. So it definitely is effective. I have actually the experts are seeing the problems with the current school system and how it is antiquated and doesn't meet the needs of today's students and those moving into the workforce. The experts are seeing this. I have an article that I wrote that was published in the Immaculate Heart Messenger in the current issue that we've uploaded to our Facebook site. If you want to go to that page, you could read that article for further explanation on that. Now, these are experts that will eventually be putting these students and graduates into the workforce and meeting the needs of businesses in today's world, not those educational experts who have a vested interest in continuing the bureaucracy and the government intervention into education, but actually people that will have an interest in these students and these graduates who are moving into the world. Homeschooling is really not a difficult thing. It is very effective. All it takes is some love and commitment from the parents and discipline in the home. That's what we're going to talk about next time on the Family Matters, discipline in the home, here at Citadel Catholic Media. Come back and see us. God bless.